Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to State of the Gaming Industry episode 22 on February 14th. February 14th. So, today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Avowed reviews. So, Avowed did come out technically if you got the, what do you call it, premium upgrade where you get to play, 5 days early. So, people are already playing that as of 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific time for people over there on the West Coast. So we'll go through some of the reviews. I think it was sitting at like an 80 on Metacritic last time I checked, so not bad. But early reviews from what I'm seeing is a lot of people are saying it's good. It's not a bad game at all, but you're just expecting a lot more out of an Obsidian RPG, which is fair. But for people that are casual RPG fans, maybe you won't notice a lot of those things. We'll talk about the state of play that happened on Wednesday. Few good reveals. I know a lot of people kind of, need to take it easy on the state of plays. They're never that crazy. Like there's normally like few good things and maybe like one really like banger, reveal or whatever. So I think everyone expects like if you took all the state of plays and all their big announcements and put that into one state of play, then it would be good, which they just typically aren't like that. It's not like Nintendo Direct or Xbox Showcase, and I said that in my video, so check out my video just going over the state of play and everything and what I thought about it. And I said it in there, like Sony, is it like their directs and showcases aren't really like, they're not known for that, so it is what it is. Then we got some updates on some more, speaking of Sony, some more PlayStation shows, new seasons, Last of Us, Twisted Metal, and stuff like that. So, gonna be a good show. If y'all are new, please do hit that like button, subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, do rate it 5 stars, leave a comment, everything like that. So, we get started with what I'm playing, any recent pickups. So, we were just talking about Avowed technically. So, last night, excuse me, indigestion. I did buy the premium upgrade because my plan was, so my Game Pass ran out yesterday. I didn't know this, so I didn't have PC Game Pass. I was using Game Pass Ultimate, and they had like 14 days for $1. So I'm like, oh, let me do that. And then I saw the premium upgrade, with the discount was like $22 or something, $23, and you get 5 days early access. I would have been able to play today, but then I was kind of just trying to check the reviews because I'm like, is it worth it for me to play 5 days early? Like the reviews are already out. I'm not getting it. I'm not going to be done with it. Like it's a 40-50 hour RPG, so me paying extra money and then trying to speed through it to try and get a review or early impressions out wasn't something I really wanted to do. Plus the reviews weren't like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s all across the board. So I was just like, yeah, let me get this refund. Let me get this refund real quick. So yeah, that was the only, like, if you want to count that as a pickup. As far as what I've been playing though, I was playing Doom 2016 on my Series X because I did, before Doom the Dark Ages comes out, I did want to play both that and Doom Eternal. Plan to do a video on that and drop it sometime around Doom the Dark Ages when it comes out. That's pretty much it. I did start Persona 5 Royal as long as that's been out on the Switch. Haven't gotten that far in it, just got through like the opening scene, interrogation, and all that, so didn't get that far in it, but that's pretty much it as far as what I'm playing. I haven't been playing too much, just been kind of focusing on the channel and what videos I'm gonna put out over the next couple of weeks, and things like that. So look forward to that. But let's go over to weekly game releases. So I always forget to zoom in. So here we go. So when was the 11th? Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we had Civ 7 come out. I was on PC, PS5, PS4, both Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, and then the Switch as well. So it's a 4X strategy game, pretty popular, pretty famous series. So that got an 80 Metacritic, so that's pretty good. Warriors Abyss. So this shadow dropped after the Nintendo or the Sony State of Play on the 12th. So it seemed pretty interesting. So it's a roguelite, but it's from the world of, I think Bandai Namco's developed it or published it, but it's from the Dynasty Warriors, that whole franchise. So it looks like kind of, I don't know what you call it, isometric. So it kind of looks like Hades. So it's roguelite, but it's all about fighting hordes of enemies and stuff like that. So that game actually looked interesting when I saw it at the State of Play. So I might, I don't know. We'll see when the reviews come in. Maybe I'll get it on sale or something, but it seemed like a pretty fun game. Then today, when you're watching this, the Tomb Raider Remastered 4, 5, and 6 is coming out on everything, which, I mean, I expect to have decent review scores. I mean, people like the original Tomb Raider games. The first compilation did pretty well, so I'm sure 4, 5, and 6 will do good. And then coming out today as well, Legend of Heroes Trails to Daybreak 2. And I'm not familiar with when this game originally came out in Japan, but I know with a lot of these games, like the Falcom games, they come out in Japan like 2, 3, sometimes even like 4 years, and then they take a while to get localized over here in the States. But I've seen a few people just talk about this game. I haven't watched reviews or anything because I'm not, in the Trail series, but I heard people were a little disappointed, especially considering the first one, Trails to Daybreak. I think that came out last year or 2023, but a lot of people really liked that game. So unfortunately, I heard the second one wasn't that great. But since we're on here, let's get into the Avowed Reviews. So it's still sitting at an 80. So this is after 60 Metacritic scores. I hope it does not drop down to a 70 anything, but I think it'll stay. It's been at 80 since I checked. So now like I said, it has 60 reviews. So 48 positive, 12 mixed. The highest I saw, when I first saw it go live, I think it was like 40 reviews. So even with 20 more reviews, that hasn't changed that much. But realistically, like, it's not just the publication reviews. Like, you want to look at the, independent people, the people on YouTube that got codes and stuff that don't have any type of, I'm not saying these people are biased, but, some of them are like Xbox specific publications. Some people are, they want to keep getting codes from them or whatever. They don't, they have ties to a few things. Some of these publications are all under the same umbrella and things like that. So, people are saying stuff like Starfield got a 7 from IGN. They gave this a 7, which, I didn't watch the review yet. I read some of it, but it doesn't seem unfair to me. But we could go through a couple. So you can see this one. This is the only 10 out of 10 that I've seen. So BG247, it said, actually, I want to see, what did this get on PC? Am I doing any on PC? Ooh, so PC is actually at 79 after 47 reviews, or 50 reviews, it says here. Well, 47 that actually have a rating. 40, like here it has 65, but 5 of them don't actually have a rating as to be determined. But anyway, BG247, so says that's what Avowed is: strong storytelling, great combat, lovely visuals, and utterly charming. It's not going to light everyone's hair on fire, but that's fine because I know for a certain subset of people, refined people of taste, if you ask me, Avowed will enjoy cult classic status. It doesn't necessarily push the envelope, but nor does it need to. It's exactly what it needs to be. And that's what this, the kind of common theme that I saw for a lot of these reviews was like, it looks good, it plays pretty well. A lot of people actually like the combat, which is, really good, but apparently because of the game being originally was going to be a multiplayer, like a MMO or something like that, or online multiplayer, you can see the elements of that when it comes to some of the like NPCs, like just not, like they're just standing there waiting for you to do something. They don't have their own individual like lives, which a lot of people don't like because it doesn't seem like the world is really lived in. Apparently, there's a lot of repeating enemies and not a lot of variety and stuff like that. And then again, a lot of people said like, hey, it's good, but it doesn't push the envelope at all. It doesn't do anything new. It doesn't doesn't expand on RPGs. It's just a standard RPG, and Obsidian is known to do a lot more. So this review actually leaked yesterday. It got Wednesday. It got posted early, so it says Avowed marks another triumph for the folks at Obsidian. Through its gorgeous world, memorable characters, frenzied combat, and intuitive yet deep customization system, it highlights player agency everywhere in its gameplay narrative, ensuring that each playthrough offers something new. More importantly, it does so while never compromising the strength of its core story. So, and I heard, see again, and I'll scroll down to some of the more mixed reviews, but it's saying, oh, memorable characters, but I heard a lot of people didn't care for the characters that much. Here we got a lot of 9 out of 10 Screen Rant, Atomics, Destructoid, and I get that it's a different reviewer, but it does look weird when IGN France or Italia or one of these other ones normally have a higher score than the United States one. Like they gave it a 9 out of 10. But then you see Xbox Era, they gave it an 88. CG Magazine, they gave it an 85. Here at Xbox, they gave it an 8 out of 10. So they said it's a fantastic RPG or fantasy action RPG that focuses on its combat and exploration first and foremost, what you'll either love the sound of or not so much. Yes, Pillars fans looking for the sort of depth that comes with that series will just need to adjust expectations accordingly, as this is breezy, spunky, fight-fueled affair that's more about creating cool loadouts and finding treasure than it is falling in love with an NPC or spending 10 hours of your inventory at a time. 10 hours in your inventory at a time. Fast-paced fights, colorful environments. So yeah, it's saying like they did focus more on like the action part of it versus the deep. I mean, I don't know if they took the choice and consequence, if there was an afterthought or what, but it sounds like if you're into that type of stuff, then it's not for you. But here's the IGN review. So this was the 7 out of 10. They said, with awesome world building and stellar, and I do want to watch this review because again, it seems pretty thought-provoking. With awesome world building and stellar character writing, Avowed reminds me why I fell in love with Obsidian RPGs in the first place. However, the bigger picture is that it plays it quite safe with a by-the-numbers fantasy adventure that's more familiar than evolutionary. And there's barely, unintended there, because I heard there's a million bears in this game for some reason. It's barely any enemy variety to keep its swords and sorcery battles interesting for long. Some people said that in the previews too, like, hey, how many times am I going to fight a mushroom character? Like, I'm over this. Even if it doesn't swing for the fences or leave a memorable mark on the genre, though, it's still perfectly competent with all the tried and true stuff I expect, including chaotic combat, leveling systems, and a loop progression that lets you build the kind of character you want to play and meaningful decisions. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoyed my time. Just don't expect Avowed to show you anything you haven't seen before. So, I mean, I think that they gave it some pretty good praise. It was just the fact that, and like for better or worse, when you do, give people really good games, you're expected to, stay up to that standard. Like you can't go backwards. And they said there's nothing wrong with the game. It's fun, but it's just, there's not a lot of variety. It's nothing special. I'm expecting Obsidian to give me something, out this world. So we'll read one more here. So this is from The Guardian, gave it a 6 out of 10. It said Avowed starts out as Obsidian's answer to Bethesda's Elder Scrolls series, and it did remind me a lot of Oblivion and Skyrim in the exciting moments where I stumbled across something unexpected in the wilds, but it also shares those games' tendency towards repetition and the weightless feel of their fighting, which that kind of sucks because a lot of people were complaining about the the lack of impact and things like that with the fighting like last year. So I don't know if they didn't fix it completely, but we'll see. My first 15 hours or so in the Lance Between felt rich with potential, but I got fed up with it long before the end. So, I mean, I'm gonna play it either way. Again, Game Pass, not, you know, doesn't cost me anything technically. And like, I am interested in the game either way. Like, I want to try it out. I'm not gonna just skip it because everybody said. The only game I really skip like that, especially big first party games from Xbox, is Redfall. I literally never even downloaded it, and that was one of my most anticipated games of 2023 and 2022 when they first showed it. So again, Avowed 8 out of 10 is not bad at all. It is good. It's just if you're looking for a nice RPG, play it, have fun, spend your 40 hours, 50 hours maybe, and keep it moving, maybe replay it, try different builds and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's going to be the real strength of this game, is just the different builds and abilities and different ways to play through the campaign over and over again if you want to. So that's it for Avowed. Let's go over to the PlayStation side. So this is for the PSN. So PSN Network was down on February 8th. So over the weekend, it was down for, I think it was 20 hours, which is crazy. So this is from Insider Gaming. It says on February 8th, the PlayStation Network blinked online and tens of millions of gamers were left stranded. The outage, which was a global issue, caused players to be locked out of online servers or services and even single player games if they were owned digitally. So I know everybody's going to talk about the digital versus physical stuff there, but it took many hours for Sony to get the servers up again, leaving many to wonder why did it go down. Unfortunately, their explanation of what caused the outage wasn't exactly the most in-depth thing, and moreover, the compensation that they arranged for the PSN outage was paltry: 5 days extra PS Plus on your existing subscription. I don't think that's bad. If it was down for the better part of a day and they give you 5 extra days, I don't see that's not bad. What do you want them to do? Give you $50? But yeah, it says here it was down for 20 hours. And this was their explanation on the website. So it said network services have fully recovered from an operational issue. We apologize for your inconvenience and thanks the community for the community for their patience. All PlayStation Plus members will automatically receive additional 5 days of service. So I mean, I don't know what people expected, but every time something like this happens, people get flashbacks of, what was it, 2011? I remember I was in high school where it was down for like 20 days or something. And like Microsoft had to come in and save the day. It's crazy, but all good there. But let's talk about the state of play. So like I said, I already did a video just reacting to the whole thing live, and then gave my thoughts on, what games I thought were really good, which ones I didn't really care for. So we got these are kind of out of order, so I'm gonna just like point out the ones. So this was the big reveal, Saros from Housemarque. So this is the studio that made Returnal, and you could kind of see that. Like, I saw it in his, like, if you look at this screenshot right here, like looking in his eyes, like this spiral thing. I remember a lot of attacks when you were playing this game. There was a lot of like alien attacks with that type of pattern. So this is announced it's going to come out in 2026. And the other thing Sony did, which I was saying while like in my video, I was like, they need to start saying, the PS5 Pro enhanced or whatever, to try and really sell that, because the PS5 Pro came out and that's supposed to be the whole selling factor to that. You got Days Gone Remaster, which everybody kind of saw coming. Shinobi, this looked really good. So this is coming out August 29th, 4 days after my birthday. And this looks really good. Sega's kind of doing their what do you call it, like remixing and remastering a lot of their older games. Like, we know Crazy Taxi's coming, Jet Set Radio, also fighting Virtual Fighter, all that. And like this looks really good, like the hand-drawn Metroidvania style. And you know, for they said this is the year of the ninja, because you got Shinobi, you got Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Ninja Gaiden 4, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. You got they did Onimusha 2 Remastered, it's coming out along with Onimusha, like I don't know if it's a reboot. It's coming out next year, so that looks good. Warriors Abyss, which I talked about earlier with the weekly releases. It's like roguelike warriors game. Borderlands 4, that's coming out September 23rd. Again, Borderlands, if you're into it. A lot of people kind of fell off of it. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So this actually leaked on the PlayStation Store, this exact demo, which is insane. Or not demo, video. This ain't even, this comparing them. But yeah, so everybody kind of already expected this, and I've been confused on that game because I keep seeing it, like I feel like we seen it at a showcase already. I'm almost positive I seen Xbox post it at one point. We've seen it at Summer's Games Fest. Like, I don't know who got the actual marketing to it, but either way, it's multi-platform, and that'll be out. We got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. When's that coming out? No release date. That's going to be on everything, and it looks a little bit better than Mario Kart, you know, doing things a little bit differently. You got Digimon Story, Split Fiction, we got to see again. Liza P. Overture, so this was my favorite announcement. Are you 17 or older? Yes. That's how easy it is to get on these websites. Yeah, the funny thing is someone hinted at it. I think it was Tim Geddes on okay, this isn't loading. Tim Geddes on Kind of Funny, like when they were doing the predictions for the show, and someone mentioned Liza P, and he was like, well, no, because it was a big thing for Xbox. It was on Game Pass. That's how I played it back in 2023. I think it was my number 4 game of the year that year. But yeah, we got DLC. We already knew this was coming, so Liza P DLC. I'm gonna be there for sure. This game is really, really good. So definitely check out Liza P if you haven't already. DLC coming out this summer, no specific date, but it looks good. Lost Soul Aside, May 30th. Again, nothing new already announced, but I like this. This is giving me DMC vibes all the way, which is great because I think like we need more of these action games that aren't just, you know, Souls-like games. You got cool traversal where you're riding on like a skateboard, but then it turns into like wings and you can fly around. Like this game looks really good, and I believe it's by an indie dev. What's the developer? Alt Zero Games. I don't know if they have the information on. I don't have the information, but that game looks really good. What else do we have? Okay, it doesn't want to take me back to where I was. What else we got? Darwin's Paradox. That game looks pretty good. It looks kind of like Inside and Limbo, like you're an octopus and you're using your octopus skills to sneak around. Hell Is Us, which we saw, I forget at what, I think it was Summer Games Fest or something last year, which kind of looks like Fallout mixed with Dead Space. Looks pretty good. Metal Eden. I thought this game was coming out May 6th. I thought this game was like Marathon or something when I first saw it, but it looks like a, you know, wall running shooter. Looks pretty good. There's mechs in it. I don't know how well it'll actually do. But oh, it's going to be on Xbox too, so it's multi-platform, Xbox and PC, not just a PlayStation title. Tides of Annihilation. It kind of looks like it's trying to be like Nier / Stellar Blade to me when I was looking at it. Like it kind of has that vibe, like some of the same action, you know, the slender, sexy looking woman or whatever. So it's kind of like not Souls-like and not action as in Devil May Cry Bayonetta, but somewhere in that like Stellar Blade action type thing. So it's pretty good. I don't want to go through everything. I mean, there's just want to point out the highlights. Like I said, we saw Onimusha, Yakuza Dave the Diver, DLC, Monster Hunter Wilds, Stellar Blade DLC, which is just another outfit, and yeah, some old Armored Cores coming to classic PlayStation. So overall, to me, I mean, just with my expectations of what a state of play is, I gave it like a B. I thought it was pretty good. Again, I know a lot of people just want it to be this blockbuster like reveal of it. I will admit, not having Ghost of Yotei to give a release date was kind of weird. Like I felt like you needed either Ghost of Yotei or what's the game? Death Stranding 2. I feel like one of those two needed to be here, considering those are like the big or Marathon. Like I felt like those are the three like big first party games that we know for this year, and it wasn't here. There was no God of War announcement, which we'll talk about a little later, but I think a lot of people talk about like that, where it's just not enough stuff at like they spread it out to like each showcase is going to have like one big game, and then like a bunch of smaller stuff, some second party partnership type things. So speaking of PlayStation first party, so we got Astrobot DLC. So again, zooming in. So it says, Sony's releasing a stream of Astrobot expansions, the first of which is available yesterday, February 13th, which adds a total of 5 new levels and 5 special bots. So that's interesting. It's run by a PlayStation 5 Pro patch, which allows the best resolution while running at 60 frames. So that's good. They expected DLC, however, a number of unreleased bots appeared in the credits, so they're still waiting. Oh, I just read that. I didn't want to read. Sorry if I spoiled that for anybody. I didn't want to read that because I haven't played or bought this game yet, so I wanted to kind of get surprised with the amount of bots and everything, but I accidentally read that. So anyway, Astrobot DLC available, and there's going to be more. So Game of the Year, Astrobot. Now, like I was mentioning earlier, talking about what was not at the state of play. So there was a rumor that the God of War, the Greek Saga, so the original trilogy, was supposed to be announced soon, which, I mean, considering the God of War Ragnarok DLC Valhalla, which came out back in December 2023, so it's already been a year, believe it or not. That was all about going to the past and referring to, the Greek trilogy and everything. So, I mean, it makes sense. And they mentioned it in here, like, because I wanted to play the older ones too, but there's not really any backwards compatibility with it. Like, the only thing you could play is the 2015 God of War 3 remaster version. If you have PlayStation Plus, you could play that, but it says insiders claiming that the original God of War trilogy could get a remaster this year in honor of the franchise's 20th anniversary, because the first game came out in 2005 on the PS2. Reddit user Feeling Examination 6, who also shared the leaked Hell Is Us release date, claims that there is indeed a remaster of the old God of War games in the works, and that it could be announced during this week's PlayStation State of Play, which it obviously wasn't, as we saw. It should be noted that they aren't sure when that date could be, and that this is all just unconfirmed rumor as of this writing. So obviously it wasn't announced. I would like them to do it. God of War 2018 was my first God of War, and I really enjoyed it, so I would like them to, put something out. Now let's talk about some of Sony's shows that they're putting out. So Twisted Metal season 2. So you see they're taking advantage of, you know, Anthony Mackie being what's his name? You know, the new Captain Falcon. That new movie came out, or it's coming out this weekend. So you got Twisted Metal season 2 teaser. Listen, I think I played Twisted Metal 1 back in the day on someone else's PS1. I never watched season 1 of this. I don't even know what Twisted Metal is about. It's a racing game or something, right? Are they killing people? I literally don't know what's going on. There's a clown. Who knows? I don't know. Did they even give an Did they give a date? They didn't even say. When's it come out? Okay, summer of 2025. So he got some decent shows. I ain't gonna lie. So if y'all haven't seen Jackal, I mentioned it before, but Jackal's really good. Got this Twisted Metal show, which I guess is decent since it got a second season. But what's more than decent is Last of Us, which is coming back season 2 in April. And this was just like a little conversation they were having where, because a lot of people was wondering, how are they going to do season 2? Like, are they going to follow the second game to the T? And if they do, it's like, okay, series, how long is it going to be? Because there's not a lot, you know, there's not a lot they can do for that unless you're going to make the season, I don't know, 14 episodes long. But they talk about that too, how they might split it or whatever else. But so it says here, we don't have a final plan, but I think it's looking like 4 seasons. And now me thinking about that, I'm like, it says I wouldn't want to confirm that, but it's looking like this season and then 2 more seasons after this and we're done. So to me, I think you could split this season into 2, but then I always wondered how they would tell it as far as a timeline perspective. Like, instead of doing all the flashbacks and all that, what they could do is show a little bit of like what's going on in the present, but then most of it, let's say the first 5 episodes, because it says it's going to be a 7-episode season. The first 5 episodes could be like the flashbacks of the last 4 or 5 years between part 1 and part 2, and then episodes 6 and 7 can be the, you know, the beginning of Last of Us part 2 in the what's it called, in the game, which would be a good cliffhanger for people that haven't seen it. And then do the next season to kind of tie that up. And then the 4th season, if you're going to do that, I guess would be, I don't know, I'm not trying to spoil it, but maybe like the after of part 2, like when you thought the game was over, but then there was a whole new extra part to it. Who knows? But it says Craig Mazin, he originally said that it could run between 3 and 5 seasons. So it all depends how they're going to do it. We know Neil Druckmann is co-executive producing it, so he's a co-showrunner or whatever. So it's like, I don't know what he wants to do with it, because everyone thought, okay, we're going to get Last of Us Part 3, but then they announced the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet or whatever. That's their next game. So, and I think they had some layoffs too. So I don't think they're working on 2 games at once. So, like, I don't know. Maybe they are. And that team, like, once they got the groundwork and the most of Last of Us Part 3 done, they moved over to Intergalactic, and then they'll release Last of Us Part 3 maybe in, I don't know, because it all depends. If Intergalactic comes out, let's say next year, and then Last of Us comes out in 2028, and they do Last of Us Season 3 in 2027, they do every 2 years like they've been doing with Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, then you would have that come out in 2029, which is a year after the game comes out. So maybe, who knows? All we know, Season 2 comes out in April. So either way, I'll be watching and I'll be playing if it ever happens. But we talked about state of plays. Let's talk about Nintendo Direct. So we know already that Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is coming out officially on April 2nd. But people are thinking, okay, is there going to be a February Direct? And there's some like rumors. They're saying insiders. So we might get either it'll be a Direct Mini because it doesn't make sense to do a full-on Direct. When you're about to do the Switch 2 Direct, which is also going to have games that are cross-gen with the Nintendo Switch. So we'll probably get either a Direct Mini or a partner showcase. Now, I still think, I don't know, I feel like they shouldn't do one just because if you're talking about partner Direct and you want the Switch 2, we're talking about all the third-party support that it's going to have. I don't see why you do a partner Direct in February and then unless you say, hey, these games will be on Switch 2 as well. But I feel like you'd rather show them off on the Switch 2. So I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. But this comes from, where is it? I saw it was Jeff Grubb at some point. Okay, so it says this month is still young though. The gaming news insider Jeff Grubb hasn't ruled out a February 2025 Nintendo Direct live stream yet. In the latest episode of Jeff Grubb's Game Mess, he stated that one of his sources told him that a Nintendo Direct is still being planned for later this month, though he thinks that it will be more of a mini Direct or partner showcase rather than the major Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that's already confirmed for April. That's kind of what I'm saying here too. As much as fans should temper their expectations to see any major Nintendo games at this rumored Direct. Even Grubb admits that it might not happen at all. Some Reddit users on Gaming Leaks and Rumors believe that some first-party Nintendo titles could still be shown, such as Switch version of Kirby Planet Robobot, or maybe even a remaster of Metroid Prime 2 and 3. And I could see that too. If this is going to be like the last real Direct before the Switch 2, which it is, if the Direct does happen, then yeah, you would do the Kirby stuff, finally give us the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess thing, give us I think they're supposed to do like the Fire Emblem remake, Fire Emblem 4 or something like that. So I think this would be the time to do that. I just think it's really tricky when you have the Switch 2 Direct in 2 months. And then you also have Pokemon Day in, I think, this month. So it's like, I don't know where you kind of fit that in at, but it is what it is. Let's see. All right, let's get to the last story. So everyone knows GTA 6 is supposed to come out this year. A lot of people are skeptical that it'll get delayed, but I don't know. Take-Two or Rockstar, they've been pretty much saying, "Hey, listen, it's coming out this year, guarantee, coming out in the fall time." And you know, we got the trailer a few months ago. It's at like 200 million views, which is crazy. I checked it 2 days ago, and then you know, people are waiting on news and everything. So Rockstar launched an official Discord server dedicated to GTA 6, which is, you know, says that's where it's going to have information and everything like that. And everybody went crazy over it. And it's like, companies don't do that unless something is dropping soon. Like I could see a trailer dropping at some point soon. And then maybe we get another trailer in the summertime. And then maybe like just like a launch trailer or something in October, if it drops in October or November, whenever it drops. But everybody knows this game is going to be gigantic. It's going to be, you can say, the biggest video game of all time. I don't know, just because of the sheer amount of people and when GTA 5 launched. Like it launched at the end of the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, so all those consoles that were sold was already out there. Then you had the whole PS4 and Xbox One generation to sell. And then you also have the PS5, Xbox One generation right now, and it's on PC plus the online and all that. So I don't know. I think it's gonna go crazy the first day for sure. I just don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if it's on PC day one, but if it gets on Switch 2, then forget about it. It's gonna be GTA 5 for sure. That's gonna be the determining factor. If it's on Switch 2, and Switch 2, unfortunately, can't be on the original Switch, then it really would have sold out crazy. But we'll see. This GTA 6 is a big topic, as you might expect. It's pretty chaotic in the Discord. I got rolled when somebody proclaimed a new GTA 6 trailer had dropped on YouTube, leading numerous others to declare they've seen the same thing. In a panic, I rushed to YouTube, Rockstar's YouTube, to check it out, and no, there's no trailer, of course not. So you got people already, what's it called? Already trolling in there. There's the sheer volume of messages is the #1 challenge. Slow mode's currently enabled, meaning you can only post a message every 10 minutes, with more than 43,000 people currently online and eager to share their thoughts. That's crazy. Dang, GTA 6 was revealed in 2023? It must have been the end of 2023. I don't remember that. That's crazy. So we're going a whole year without a new trailer? Dang. Oh yeah, see, it's not confirmed for PC yet. Once it gets on PC and when Switch 2 gets a few sales in there, that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, that's about it though. So that's it. That's it for State of the Game Industry episode 22. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Play some Avowed if you got the early access. If not, play it on Tuesday. Hey, it's a long weekend too. Hey, President's Day, so Xbox be doing that. I noticed they do the early access around these holidays. They did it for this. They did Starfield was around Labor Day. Doom is going to be before Memorial Day. So, but either way, check it out. I'm gonna check it out once it actually drops on Tuesday. Play some other games, but yeah, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out the links in the description. Rate 5 stars if you are listening to audio, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.